So, again, following the last video or whatever order I upload them in, I just want to ramble and, well, talk about Athena in the previous video. I just want to talk about another AEW star that I don't think's underutilized at all. I just don't think gets the true credit of... I think everyone knows how good they are, but just, how good, how good they are, truly, in a way, is Orange Cassidy. Now, Orange Cassidy, for me, is he's a phenomenal wrestler. He truly is. I think Orange Cassidy is excellent in enough every regard. I don't think you get a better all-round, multifaceted, just put him in any position and it works. I really don't. I don't think, and I think that in every single aspect of wrestling, I think you work Orange Cassidy into a serious angle, it works. You work him into a comedy angle, it works. You put him in any sort of stipulation, I think it works. Any scene, it works. Even the women's scene, you could put Orange Cassidy in the women's scene and it work. It's that because it's just Orange Cassidy. It just works. But just as a pure wrestler, in and out, just in the ring, the guy's ridiculous. I don't think the guy gets the credit of truly frankly, a generational talent he is. He's so unique. And everyone knows how unique he is just from the character. But I mean just wrestling, the guy just is so smooth. Makes everything work. And I think in all, AEW's history, and it's short but incredible history, I don't think you get a more symbolic figure than Orange Cassidy. I think Orange Cassidy truly, I don't think he gets the credit for how big of a star he truly is. You look at all these moments Orange Cassidy give you. You get the international belt run, which is still a phenomenal run. You got the stuff with Pac. You got the stuff with Moxley, the Moxley Cassidy stuff, whatever way it is, it's incredible. It's truly some of my favourite stuff. The conglomeration is obviously great. The Best Friends, it was good, but it wasn't the best. It is great, I'm not going to deny that. But then, it's not as good as I love Conglomeration, I'm very biased. Obviously, the fallout with that, with Utah and stuff, I think just everything Cassidy's done, stuff with Jericho, is great, and I just feel like, you look at these matches that Cassidy has, again, you can throw Cassidy with anyone, truly, and I really mean that, and I don't think I think a lot of people say that with a lot of wrestlers, just in general, like, oh, you could put Roman Reigns with anyone. You couldn't put Roman Reigns with anyone, but truly, you could put Orange Cassidy in any single promotion, any single division, any single wrestler, and it works. Truly, it works, and it's an instant classic. I feel like you look at give me a wrestler, give me any wrestler off the top of your brain. I'll just go with off the top of my head, Sami Zayn. You give me Sami Zayn versus Orange Cassidy, it tears the house down. Give me another one. You give me Orange Cassidy versus Gunther, tears the house down. You give me Orange Cassidy versus Vikingo, if that hasn't happened already, tears the house down. Multiple people. You give me Orange Cassidy versus Naito. Again, people like this. And it just works. Orange Cassidy truly is generational. Truly. And I always wondered to myself, what is Orange Cassidy's goal? Not goal, mainly. But as a fan of AEW, and someone who truly feels like Orange Cassidy gets the respect, I do acknowledge he gets the respect he deserves, but more the sense of, will the guy ever get is he one of those guys who, when it's all said and done, you go, wow, that's how good of a worker he is, or do we acknowledge it while he's still going? And one of the obvious things that you come into your brain is, will Orange ever get the world title? And I think that's a similar situation to Darby in a way, where Darby Allin is just a wrestler and a character who I like. I like Darby Allin a lot. And I talked about this in a previous video, where Darby doesn't need the belt. He doesn't. And I stand by, he doesn't need it. I think it helps Darby in some ways, but I don't think it's something Darby Allin goes, oh, we need this for Darby. I don't think it fits the character. However, I feel like with Cassidy, anything can work. But I also think that Cassidy, I don't think Cassidy is a situation where he doesn't need it. I think it's definitely on the cards. I just think Cassidy is one of those where Cassidy can do whatever and it works, like I said. And if you give Cassidy the belt, yeah, everyone's going to be fine with that and it'd be a ridiculously great moment and push. But I feel like there's wrestlers who need the world title more than Cassidy. I think Cassidy winning the belt would more be like everyone knows how good you are, here is your true flowers. Rather than okay, we need to push you out. Like, not like Swerve, for instance. I think Swerve needed the belt to become who Swerve is. They get, obviously, MJF in the same regard. People like this. And I think if Cassidy got it, it would be great. It's just more, like, it's not a necessity. Like, Orange Cassidy's career isn't defined by him winning the world title, right? I think Orange Cassidy's got a crazy career that's, honestly, kind of just defined by the smaller stuff he does. And I think that's more impressive in a way. I think one big thing for me is I think it might have been both guys individually, but it was definitely one of the two. I'm sure it was both of them individually as well. It was Zack Sabre Jr. and Will Ospreay. Now, besides both the fact that they're British, which is genuinely just coincidental, I think these two are some of the best wrestlers ever. I think Sabre Jr. is the best technical wrestler, well, in the world today, and one of the best ever outside of Bryan, obviously. And Will Ospreay, in my opinion, has one of the best years of any wrestler I've ever seen, and will go down as one of the greatest wrestlers ever. And they both just wax lyrical about Orange Cassidy, going, you don't understand how good this guy is, truly. And I do fear that. I fear that Orange Cassidy's whole thing is, like I said, you could put Orange anywhere. And I think Orange does fall into more, comedic spots because of his, lackadaisy attitude and stuff like that. But I think Orange is a serious underdog's always been fun. I think that what worked at the international belt run and the stuff with Moxley. I think the Moxley stuff is best work. I do. I think you found someone hard-pressed to say that. I think the Pac work's not far behind. I think Cassidy is just a truly magnificent wrestler, and I can't really say it most other ways, where it's true. Like, I feel honoured and a pleasure that I'm able to watch Orange Cassidy live, essentially, in his era. I'm trying to think of comparison for Cassidy in terms of how I think he's going to be received, and I don't want to say Kurt, because Kurt Angle was revered anyway, but I feel like when Kurt Angle retired, and Kurt's one of my favourites ever, when Kurt retired, and after Kurt called it a day, I feel like more and more people give Kurt the credit he deserved. And I think a lot of wrestlers like that, but Kurt's the one that sticks out to me. Just for this fact of people look back on his career and go, God damn, this guy was just complete. He could do the funniest shit ever, followed by those incredible, brutal matches. Look at the stuff with, Guerrero, for instance. And I think that's what Cassidy's going to be seen as, in the sense of Cassidy puts on some of the most consistent matches you'll ever see. And then the guy also is just, I feel like, just comedically genius. I said this on the train home from Manchester Dynamite last year. And I was talking to some people about just, how phenomenal wrestlers are, like what separates the best from, the good from the best, essentially. And one thing I kind of thought about and said was, I was describing AJ Styles specifically. And I was like, what makes AJ great is, AJ and Samoa Joe, that's what was crazy about it, is AJ and Samoa Joe have been everywhere. They would, obviously, AJ was in New Japan, Ring of Honor, across the Indies, TNA, WWE. Samoa Joe, similar path. Obviously, main one being AEW. And both of those guys, what makes them two all-time greats for me personally, regardless of the stuff in ring, is the guys never changed anything about themselves. Never. Not a single bit. AJ is still the same AJ Styles. Moveset, obviously, age is a thing, but the character's still AJ. Samoa Joe's practically the same again. People like this, and I think Orange Cassidy is definitely in that mold. I do. I think Orange, and that's kind of, it's kind of a different, because Orange's character is so specific, where it's kind of hard-pressed to change the guy. But Orange Cassidy doesn't change a damn thing about him, whoever he is facing. Not a damn thing. Orange Cassidy is the same Orange Cassidy against Moxley that he is against Adam Cole. Stuff like this. And I think that's incredible. I think that's truly an incredible trait. I think, again, that is a sign of truly a modern great. I feel like, again, I do assume a lot of people know how good Cassidy is, because it'd be silly not to. I think it'd be really silly not to. In the sense of, with Cassidy, for me, I just feel like we kind of look over, because he's like, it's not taking someone for granted. Cassidy's position on AEW's card is kind of the mid-card, but he's kind of the king of the mid-card, and I feel like that's a great honor, because the guy can elevate anyone, and anything Orange Cassidy does, Orange Cassidy gets consistently big, huge pops. Everyone loves Orange, and everyone knows they're getting some good shit out of Orange Cassidy. And he's just fun. I think that's the thing for me. Orange Cassidy, wrestling, again, we all know it's all about emotion. It's all about, feeling, expressing, whatever there's emotion, any type. And Orange Cassidy, even, it's so brilliant from just from a deeper level. Is Orange Cassidy's whole thing is he shows no emotion, but he gets people reacting in such insane emotion. You look at that, I still think one of my favourite memories ever of Orange Cassidy is when it's him and Sting. And bear in mind, Sting is truly, regardless of what you think of AEW, regardless of what you think of WWE, whatever, Sting is truly one of the best wrestlers ever. Truly. The guy's transcended eras. The guy's consistently been a draw. Stuff like this. Every metric, Sting is an all-timer. And Sting altered himself. Sting, a legend upon legend, who people in AEW's roster then and now built their careers and childhoods off. He adapted his character for Orange Cassidy when him and Cassidy are staring and Sting does the lazy chest bump. And it's like, to me, I think that's incredible. I think that truly is insane, because that is a true credit to how good Orange Cassidy is. So you got people like Sting, how many hours ago? How many? Going, oh, I'm going to change my style to, basically help this guy out. And don't get me wrong, Sting's a rare case because how cool the guy is. But I think that's so commendable. And then you've got on the other end, modern technical greats putting on 5-star matches every year, essentially. Orange Cassidy and even more of Will Ospreay going, guys, really take notice how good Orange Cassidy is, because this guy truly, when he's gone, you're going to miss him, because this guy's an all-timer. And it's true. Every single bit of it's true. When you think about it, when you break it down in such ways, and just think about how many great memories Orange Cassidy's given people, I'm just in awe. I would love Orange to get the world title. I would. I don't know. This is what's crazy. I don't know if it happens. And I think that's okay, because again, I don't think the world title needs Orange. I don't think Orange needs the world title. But by God, for someone like Orange Cassidy, I would kill for him to have it. Because I think the guy, not that he deserves it, because it's not one of those situations, but I would love people to just be reminded. It's like, I love Bryan. Everyone knows I love Bryan Danielson. And I don't think Bryan was ever the same situation where, people didn't acknowledge how good Bryan is. I think Bryan's being considered one of the greatest of all time for a while. So, but when Bryan won the AEW belt, I think it was a great moment for me as a fan, for everyone around just the wrestling community to just acknowledge and sharing stories and just everything, opinions of how good Bryan is. And I would love that to happen for Orange Cassidy. Not regardless of the title win, but more that moment of everyone going, you know what, yeah, Orange is great. And I think everyone knows that, but you know what I mean? Just speaking about it, I love stuff like that. I think the guy's truly one of AEW staples. And people don't forget, bear in mind, one of the biggest moments ever in AEW's history is CM Punk obviously returning to wrestling, not just AEW wrestling. And on YouTube, it sounds small, but for me, it's a big deal. That's not the most viewed video on AEW's YouTube channel. No. Orange Cassidy is. Again, the YouTube channel where people are going to go and just see, oh, I just want to see CM Punk's return. I'm a wrestling fan. Or people who aren't even wrestling fans but remember CM Punk as a kid, going to watch that. No. Orange Cassidy is, statistically, the bigger video. And I'm not saying Orange Cassidy's the bigger star than CM Punk. I'm not stupid. But I think that's nothing to scoff at. And I just like Orange Cassidy. I just really want people to just talk and just say how good he is, because I just think the guy's truly an all-time great. I think people know that. But to the level, I don't think it's truly, I think it's mad to think how truly levels. Just take a step back and just think about Orange, because the guy's brilliant, truly. We all know about, but just take a step back and think about Orange Cassidy, because you'll be blown away. So yeah, that's just me rambling about Orange Cassidy, because the guy's truly magnificent. There's no other words for the guy. What's your opinion on Orange Cassidy? What's your favourite Orange Cassidy moments? Because there's a lot. We all know there's a lot. And Do you think Orange ever wins the world title? Because I would love to know the opinion on that, because as much as I love it, I don't know, and that's what's really crazy to me. But Orange is truly one of the AEW's greatest signings ever, essentially, and he really is just one of a kind. The exact way to describe Orange Cassidy, one of a kind.